Sophia. We are back in our old space. Kaya's here with us. Say hi to Sophia. Kaya's here getting neck scritches. Okay, we are in chapter 7. We're skipping chapter 6 because nothing really happens there. So we are going straight to chapter 7. Then the Lord said to Moses, "See, I have made you like a god to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron will be your prophet." What do you think he means that you will be a god to Pharaoh? I don't think he means it in the sense of you will have, unlimited power and he should worship you. I think he means it in the same way that God tells Moses what to say and Moses speaks, that it's because Moses was so worried about his ability to speak, he's going to be the one who has the message and he gives it to Aaron and Aaron says it. So Aaron's like the prophet because the prophet has the word from God. You are to say everything I command you, and your brother Aaron is to tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites go out of his country. But I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and though I multiply my miraculous signs and wonders in Egypt, he will not listen to you. Then I will lay my hand on Egypt, and with mighty acts of judgment I will bring out my divisions, my people the Israelites. And the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord when I stretch out my hand against Egypt and bring the Israelites out of it. Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded them. Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron 83 when they spoke to Pharaoh. You know what I love about that? You are never too old or too young for God to talk to you and move in you and have things for you to do that are part of God's big story. Moses is 80. He's an old man. He probably thought his time had come and gone, and here he's just entering the most important thing he's going to do. Doesn't even start till he's an old man. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "When Pharaoh says to you, 'Perform a miracle,' then say to Aaron, 'Take your staff and throw it down before Pharaoh, and it will become a snake.'" Remember, Pharaoh's going to ask for a miracle because that was kind of how they tested the gods. Remember how we talked about every tribe and every group of people kind of had their own local gods? That Pharaoh's going to ask for a miracle as a show that, like, does your God have any kind of power? And this first miracle is one that Moses is familiar with because it's the one that God used in the desert with him. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and did just as the Lord commanded. Aaron threw his staff down in front of Pharaoh and his officials, and it became a snake. Pharaoh then summoned wise men and sorcerers, and the Egyptian magicians also did the same things by their secret arts. Each one threw down their staff, and it became a snake. But Aaron's staff swallowed up their staffs. Yet Pharaoh's heart became hard, and he would not listen to them, just as the Lord had said. So the Egyptians were saying, that's not special, we can do that too. And then when Aaron's snake ate all of theirs, that was supposed to be a sign that, oh, this God is more powerful. But it's going to take more than that for the Pharaoh to let go of his free workforce. So he says, nope, not enough. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Pharaoh's heart is unyielding. He refuses to let the people go. Go to Pharaoh in the morning as he goes out to the water. Wait on the bank of the Nile to meet him, and take in your hand the staff that was changed into a snake. Then say to him, 'The Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has sent me to say to you, let my people go so that they may worship me in the desert. But until now you have not listened. This is what the Lord says. By this you will know that I am the Lord. With the staff that is in my hand, I will strike the water of the Nile, and it will be changed into blood. The fish in the Nile will die, and the river will stink. The Egyptians will not be able to drink its water." The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron, take your staff and stretch out your hand over the waters of Egypt, over the streams and canals, over the ponds and all the reservoirs, and they will turn to blood. Blood will be everywhere in Egypt, even in the wooden buckets and stone jars." Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded. He raised his staff in the presence of Pharaoh and his officials and struck the water of the Nile, and all the water was changed into blood. The fish in the Nile died, and the river smelled so bad that the Egyptians could not drink its water. Blood was everywhere in Egypt. But the Egyptian magicians did the same things by their secret arts. And Pharaoh's heart became hard. He would not listen to Moses and Aaron, just as the Lord had said. Instead, he turned and went into his palace, and did not take even this to heart. And all the Egyptians dug along the Nile to get drinking water, because they could not drink the water of the river. Do we see what happens? The first kind of miracle with the snakes, nobody got hurt in that. Nobody had to suffer. If the Pharaoh had listened the first time, his people wouldn't have suffered. The second time, when the Nile gets turned into blood, early civilizations didn't have trains and planes and, really sophisticated ships and the kind of stuff we have now that means we can build cities far away from a major water source. They needed to live next to a river. If you look at the oldest cities in the world, they're all right next to a river because they need to be close to a fresh water source. That's the water that they drink. They use it to water their crops. They use it for all of their household needs, and they use it for transportation because they sail up and down the river. So Egypt has grown up on the Nile River. The Nile is everything to it. And so for the Nile to immediately turn into blood, and notice how comprehensive God is in this. God's like, and I'm not going to, even let any of the little inlets or, canals that come out of the Nile, any of the ponds, any of the reservoirs, that y'all have stored up. If you even have pots of water in your house, all of your water will turn to blood. The fish are all going to die, which means you can't eat fish now. The fishermen are out of work. You can't drink the water. And you can go for a long time. You can go for a very long time without eating any food, but you can only go about 3 days without having any water. And it said, and the people immediately are so desperate for water that they're sort of digging in the soil, trying to find water that will seep up from the ground to drink. So we see that Pharaoh being hard-hearted and just stubborn and not wanting to listen is causing his people to suffer. And the Egyptians themselves, they haven't done anything. They got born into their situation just like the Israelites got born into theirs. But their leader wants to maintain his power, and he wants to maintain his prestige, and he doesn't want to be the king who, the slaves escaped under. He doesn't want that reputation. And so already his people are suffering, and it's just going to get worse.